Hi, I'm David Brise. My job today is to run you through our Revival Racing Experience fleet here at Goodwood. So let's do a Formula One style grid walk, starting of course with car number 1. Where else would you start? Here we have a Mini Cooper. These cars were 1960s through and through. Alec Ilizagonis designed these, completely revolutionised the way car design happened. John Cooper then got his hands on it and made a formidable little racing car. All happens at the front end with this 1000cc engine. At the back here we have 2 tyres with one job: to stop the rear bumper from getting scratched on the tarmac. That's it. Quirky, tricky thing to handle, tricky thing to master, but a real giant killer. Let's have a look then at number 2. Here we have the MGB. Unmistakable, of course. These cars were very competitive in the day. 1964, they won their class at Le Mans, so you can't argue with that. Incredibly lightweight, fiberglass hardtop, rear-wheel drive, 1800cc engine, the B series. Quite a lot of power for something so light. Very agile, noisy, smelly, everything a race car should be in my book. Car number 3, one of my all-time favourite classic shapes. It's Italian, so of course it's red. It's the Alfa Romeo GTV. This 105 series coupe, this shape was so beautiful. It ran for well over 10 years in production, because what was wrong with it? If it isn't broke, don't fix it. 2-litre twin cam engine powering the rear wheels. A really beautiful car, not only to look at, but to drive as well. Car number 4. Slight flip side in terms of the way a car should look. Beauty meets function. Here we have the big silver German tank. This is a BMW 1800 Ti SA. The 5 series of the day, I suppose you could say, but actually in the right hands and set up in the right way was the car to beat in its day in the Touring Car Championship. Very powerful engine, and that engine was the basis of Formula One's the BMW engined Formula One cars of the period. So not to be sniffed at, quite successful car in its time. Then we have car number 5. You can't mistake the look of a Mark I Lotus Cortina. This is a just under 1600cc twin cam Ford engine. Colin Chapman took what was a pretty standard 2-door saloon car and worked his magic on it. And it's remained one of the most famous and all-time great British touring cars ever since. Really great handling car, although it had one slight quirk, where as you went through the corner, one of the front wheels would come off the ground. Very strange way of getting around a circuit, but it certainly didn't seem to harm Jim Clark's lap time. So we have the Lotus Cortina. Let's move on a little bit more then to car number 6, and the Porsche 912. You cannot mistake the shape of the Porsches. I think they're still making this car even today. Here we have the 912. The 356 had really finished its production, but that 356 4-cylinder engine was a cracking little thing. 1600cc, and went into the 912. The 911's got the 6-cylinder 2-litre engine in the early 60s, and they proved to be instantly very successful racing cars out on track. Then we're moving on to this beautiful Mark II Jaguar with a 3.8-litre straight 6, big, heavy car. In fact, I still think this one has got the cigarette lighter, should I say cigar lighter, inside it. It's got the walnut dash, doors that weigh a ton. It's a big tank, but my word, when you get that in a straight line, doesn't it go round corners? Sterling Moss even raced one of these back in the 60s. Finally, car number 8, the Ford Falcon. The Falcon, I guess you could say that the Mustang benefited from the Falcon chassis, and the Mustang was so popular that the Falcon body shape really died off. This had the baby engine, the Galaxy, the slightly bigger Galaxies racing at the time, had a 7-litre V8. This had a mere 5-litre V8 engine in it, and in a straight line again was a formidable racing car. They did get them to go round corners, but compared to something like the Mini, it had no chance. Down the straights is really where it had its benefits. So that really leaves you with an idea of our beautiful cars here at Goodwood and the Revival Racing Experience.